Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. It's Tuesday already, and I'm here with MrsHandyRU. Again, we're going to do part 2 of Gematria at Graceland. We had a really good time with the first one, and we're ready to do our second one. So how are you doing today, Kathy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I hope I don't sound like I'm in the bottom of a bathtub like in the last one. I'm trying to speak up, so bear with us.
Yes, we're both in the learning process of trying to do all this, doing all the things here.
Yeah.
All right, great. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, great. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're doing, whoops, wait, this is part, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm having issues with my
Can you make me look younger too?
Oh, I wish I could. That was part 1. Sorry. Okay, here we are, part 2. Sorry. Yeah, I wish I could. For me too, actually. All right. So anyway, let's see here. No, that's not working. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. Okay, so let me screen share here again. I think I've got it figured out. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're doing part 2. So I'll move on to the first slide. Okay, so this was outside of the actual house, outside Graceland. So there was a teardrop swimming pool, and teardrop comes to 97 and pool came to 58. And then on the other side of where the pool was, there are the water fountains, which are near the meditation garden. And the water fountains comes to 186. So do you have any?
Not on this one, honey. Sorry.
Okay. No problem.
First one I have is meditation garden. I probably am out.
That's fine. Yep. No, this will just get us started. Okay, here we go. Good. All right. So we have the meditation garden. This was the sign that was outside of it on the right. But then within the meditation garden, there was a statue there, had 2 angels, and that came to 116. And then there's a statue of Jesus, and that came to 181. Outstretched arms came to 209. And then large marble cross comes to 168. So did you have any numbers for this picture at all?
Meditation garden is 159.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he had a middle initial, but anyway, Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, really?
I know.
Okay.
It's one of those Gematria things.
Okay, great.
John F. Kennedy Jr., 159. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
A week to remember, one of our favorite Anon phrases, is 159.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther, 159.
Oh.
Royal Bloodline, 159. Christ the Lord, 159. Truth Revealed, 159. And A Perfect Storm is 159.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good ones.
Yes, very good ones. All right, so then the picture on the right, of course, is meditation garden, and you already talked about 159. Then we have a final resting place is 171. So what I did is I took out some of the words and phrases of the description on this picture. So then private serene area comes to 182. One of his favorite places, so it was one of Elvis's favorite places, came to 243. Meditation comes to 110. Reflection comes to 107. Interesting, right? And quiet contemplation comes to 229. So I don't know if you had any other ones. Okay, next one.
Yep.
All right, so meditation garden again. All right, we have near the gravestones there were some yellow flowers, so that's 190. The red flowers on the one gravestone came to 125. And then I noticed that white teddy bear sitting there near Elvis's gravestone. and they came to 149. And then to the right picture there, that's also part of the meditation garden as well. We have elaborate fountain comes to 179. Special lighting comes to 151. So those two words, or those two phrases there, were actually part of the description for the meditation garden. It talked about having an elaborate fountain and special lighting. So I thought that some of those numbers were interesting. Did you have anything, Kathy, for this one?
Well, I looked up, I didn't do teddy bear, but I've got white bear, I was thinking. Phoenix, it's 91. So white bear is 91. POTUS, POTUS is 91. Excuse me. Who is Q is 91. And mirror that we were talking about before, all the mirrors in the house.
All right.
91. And prison, which will come up later when you talk about the movie, right? Jailhouse. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for that.
Okay, good. All right, next. Excuse me. All right, so Elvis's gravestone, there were actually 4 large gravestones there and then some smaller ones, but Elvis Aaron Presley comes to 216. And then the TCB, which is there at the bottom of the gravestone, TCB comes to 25. And the TCB actually stands for taking care of business, which I thought was interesting. And that comes to 218. I know there's a lot of 218s that negative 48s talked about before, so I thought that was neat. And then the right side there, the picture, excuse me, was a picture of the eternal flame. So there's an eternal flame there, and that comes to 112. And there's also an eternal flame for John F. Kennedy's burial site, I guess. I don't know what you want to call that, but so that came to 112. For eternal flame came to 112. And then in memoriam comes to 110. And then the description for the actual eternal flame, some of the words, so one of them was some manner, which comes to 117. Never ending respect and love came to 276. Constant reminder is 192. And then eternal presence, 160. So those are some of the words that were actually in the whole description for the eternal flame. So did you have anything, Kathy, for any of these?
I have a couple of different things.
Okay.
Just excuse me, grave site is 106. And sorry, my throat.
That's okay.
The crown is 106. Mike Lindell, our pillow guy, my pillow, okay. Mike Lindell is 106, or I should say 106. Rose Garden, like at the White House, 106. He is risen is 106. Platinum is 106. And inheritance is 106. And then I have TCB for taking care of business, the band.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you said that. Did you say Jack? John F. Kennedy's nickname, Jack.
Oh, right.
25. Fame is 25. And people I think we're waiting to hear from, but might be our military more like it, is FEMA. Federal Emergency Management Association? I don't know.
Right, is agency.
Agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be an association if you're in the government, right? Yeah.
I
don't know. Eternal Flame is 112. And that one is the Alpha Omega, 112. Celestial God, 112. Our Father, 112. Hold the line. And POTUS is saying that all the time, President Trump, saying it all the time. And Il Donaldo says it in much more emphatic ways. Il Donaldo Trumpo. Sleepy right. Joe is 112. That's a term of endearment.
Oh, right.
President Trump had for him. Mary's Child, 112. And you haven't gotten to Jesse yet, have you?
No, that might be the next slide or
okay.
the next one after that one. So.
Okie doke.
Yep. Okay, great. We'll move on. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's the next one. So Elvis and his brother's gravestone. So the picture on the left is the little gravestone there for Jesse Garin Presley. That comes to 222. And then stillborn twin brother comes to 273. And then I noticed there were two angels on the gravestone and it comes to 116. And I think maybe you know this, the middle name I think is misspelled. I don't know if you know anything about that or.
Is it supposed to be just with one A?
I thought so, but I could be wrong. I don't know where I read that somewhere that it might be misspelling or something. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I wonder if they've misspelled both names somehow, sometimes just because it wasn't real and they
Right.
didn't want to.
That could be, yeah. Or maybe that's a rabbit hole we might not go
Right.
down. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Let's
Yeah.
stay out of that one.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. All right. So did you have any numbers for this one?
I have his name just the way it's spelled there. Jesse Garin Presley, 218. And where we go one, we go all is 218.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important, I think. And Jesus born Tuesday, 218. John F. Kennedy and then Junior, not the JR, but the Junior spelled out,
Mm-hmm.
is 218. Operation Sunrise is 218. And I look at sunrise, it's spelled S-U-N, but I look at it as S-O-N, like the sun is rising again.
Mm-hmm.
Or sun, more like suns, you know.
Right.
And the stock market crash is 218. And it won't stay down, so everything's okay.
Yep. Okay, good. All right. So then on the right there, of course, is Elvis's gravestone. And what I did is I read through it and then I picked out, words or phrases or whatever from the description. So that's what all those things are listed there. So of course, Elvis Aaron Presley comes to 216. Precious gift from God comes to 226. God-given talent comes to 155. Capturing the hearts of young and old alike is 404. Entertainer comes to 129. Great humanitarian comes to 180. Living legend comes to 120. Field of music comes to 122. And highest awards comes to 142. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add there, Kathy.
Not on this one, sorry.
No problem. No problem. All right. So then also there were the gravestone of Elvis's paternal grandmother is on the left, and then his mother had a larger gravestone, and then this smaller one on the right. But let me do the one on the left first. So Minnie Mae Presley comes to 183. And then the scripture verse that was actually on there is Proverbs 31:28. So I'm not sure, maybe those numbers have significance as well. Queen of our home comes to 178. And then there were 5 hearts on the bottom there on the gravestone that comes to 113. And then there was an arrow that kind of went through the hearts, and arrow comes to 75. And then on the right, you have his mom's smaller gravestone. It's Gladys Love Presley, comes to 222. And then Sunshine of Our Home, which was a description they had for her, Sunshine of Our Home comes to 225. So Kathy, let me know if you have anything for any of those or if you're working on something.
Yeah, I have Minnie Mae Presley,
Mhm.
183.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did the saying that was underneath.
Okay.
Queen of Our Home.
Oh, good. Okay.
178. And Law of Attraction is 178. Have you ever heard about the Law of Attraction? It's
I've heard
so fascinating. It's like you believe it and it comes to you.
Oh.
And that happened to me one time.
Oh, neat.
It did. I'll tell you about it another time, but honestly, it happened.
Okay.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, I've heard it mentioned, but I've not really researched it or looked into it, but that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a peek.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. 178. We've heard that before.
Right?
Twin flame arrow, 178. And that always makes me think of Junior and his dad.
Oh, okay.
The two of them,
Right.
they're mentioned together a lot in different ways in the Gematria,
Mhm.
That's it. And then I have Gladys, and let's see, what did I do? Oh, the saying, sunshine of our home, 219. And who is Jesus Christ is 219.
So did you do sunshine of home, or did you do sunshine of our home?
Of our home.
Oh, okay. Because okay, did I have the wrong value for it?
Oh,
225.
I don't know. I could, well, maybe I did. Maybe I added something and I should have had, I don't know. Well, we'll skip that one.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were, yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure we had the same number.
Yeah, but I did look up, I was trying to look up Proverbs. I was
okay.
wondering, because it was
Sure.
31:28, right?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine.
I don't know, I just thought there must be very important.
Yeah, that it was specifically put on the gravestone there. Yeah, there's so many details, so much to see.
Yeah,
You could go through and see more things each time.
well, her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth, I can't say it, and he praiseth her.
Oh,
Now we could even decode that.
yeah, you could.
Yeah, but I would take too long, but we could
That's fine.
we could take each part because it's broken into two.
Right.
No,
Right.
that's how you, so if anybody watching wants to do it with anything in the Bible, they can do that.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that with a lot of verses and some of the things
Yeah.
that Jesus said. I'd love to, yeah, love to do a video on that.
Yeah, and I've been, well, not this time because it would take longer, but I've been trying to use the Geneva Bible. And
Oh,
it's the oldest that you can get online, as far as I know. I mean,
okay.
now that more documents have been unearthed, there's probably more,
Right.
a little
And
more than
what
that.
year, do you know what year the Geneva
It's
Bible?
it's 1599.
Okay, I'll have to remember that.
And what was it? Queen Mary something was driving out all the all the Protestants out and killing everybody. So a whole big bunch of the English speaking ones went to Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay.
And they were the ones that wrote it. So actually they were English, but they wrote it in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Okay.
And they have more books in the Bible, in that Bible. So anybody who thinks that, oh no, this is the whole Bible, it's not true. What we have is not the whole Bible. There was several
Right.
more in the Geneva Bible.
Right. And I remember negative 48 talking
Yeah,
about
that
how
guy.
how the Bible that we have is the truth, but it's not the whole truth. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
yeah. So that's important to remember. But that's good. Yeah, good to know. So the Geneva Bible, you said 1599?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so then for this one, this was Elvis's parents, their gravestone, and I did not get a chance. I was looking at so many of these slides and pictures. I didn't get a chance to actually read through the whole entire gravestone and everything. So I just have a few things for each one. I have Vernon Elvis Presley, 255. And then there was the infinity symbol at the bottom that you can see there actually in the picture, and that comes to 106. And then his mother's gravestone actually included her other name. So the smaller one only had like 3 names. This one has four names. So it's Gladys Love Smith Presley, 291. And then she had a rose on hers. So rose comes to 57. So did you have anything for this one?
I think I missed one. Oh no, you said Vernon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a cord right in front of my screen from the camera, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vernon Elvis Presley, 255, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein didn't kill himself, is 255.
Oh.
I know. the two prophets of God, 255. And that's Junior and JFK.
Mhm.
Who I think is really a brother to JFK.
Wow. So complicated.
And yes, okay. So 255 is John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. spelled out again. So let's see. You are indeed entertaining angels is 320. Oh, I went on to something else. Yeah, that's a different number. I didn't demarcate there.
No worries. That's okay.
Oh, that matched Benjamin Storm Presley Keogh.
Oh, that might be the next one. Maybe the next slide.
Yeah, I got it out of order.
Okay.
Sorry
No
about
worries.
that.
That's okay.
I'm just too anxious.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good. Okay. So do you want me to move on, or do you still have some more?
I'm all ready for Benjamin Storm.
Okay, you're ready for the next. For that, I think it might be the next one.
Yeah.
Yes, by golly.
There you go.
All right. So Elvis's grandson's gravesite. His name was Benjamin Storm Presley. How do you say that last name? Do you know?
I think it's spelled sounds like Keogh.
Keogh, yeah. Well, whatever you say it. Sorry for not saying it right, but it comes to 320. And then I thought this was really interesting. They mentioned several places that Elvis's favorite sandwich was the peanut butter and banana sandwich. So I just put peanut butter and banana sandwiches comes to 320, which I thought that was kind of clever. And then I just added two, and then Kathy, I'll let you add what you have. I had the one who really loves you comes to 320. And then divine translations of Gematria, 320. I thought that was cool because that's that's what we're doing. We're using Gematria to translate and decode and understand. So, but anyway, go ahead, Kathy. What do you have?
Well, Benjamin Storm Presley Keogh 320, and you are indeed entertaining angels. And then the last one is holy twins of the second coming. That's why I know there's more than one here. This just happens too many times. You talk about not having all the information. Anyway, and I got
mind blowing.
I know, and I've got peanut butter and banana sandwiches. 320. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And okay, sorry.
You're okay.
Communication with spirits, 320, because they're alive. This is, remember General Flynn's saying, he says we have an army of digital soldiers. So when they say these phrases, they really want us to look them up.
Okay.
These things that are, everybody starts to know these phrases, and they want you to go and look at all the matches and see what in the world they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. This one goes back to my white hat fake things, fake flappy things that are on a pole, right. Like the American flappy thing.
Right.
Pledge allegiance, the flappy.
Gotcha.
That says surprise attack, United States, 320. So it's going to look like it, and it won't be real. Now you said it was a Wurlitzer piano, so I just decided to do. Oh, we're not there yet.
That's okay. That'll be.
I keep getting ahead because I only put scribble. I only did the scribbles. I didn't know what page it was.
Oh, sorry. That's okay. That's all right. No worries. Okay. Here we are. See, it's right here.
Yeah, there.
Yes. So this is a 1950 Wurlitzer piano, and I did the decode. I think it was just for Wurlitzer piano. It comes to 207. So then I looked into this a little further, and it was called the Million Dollar Quartet, and that comes to 248. And it was done at Sun Record Studios. So that comes to 224. And it was actually an impromptu jam session. So that comes to 265. And then I have the four guys that are pictured there. Of course, Elvis Presley comes to 167. Jerry Lee Lewis comes to 166. Carl Perkins comes to 126. Johnny Cash comes to 117. And then I decoded the actual date using the year as well. And that comes to, it's December 4th, 1956. And that comes to 347. And then the name of the song that they were playing is called Hey Porter. That comes to 130. And then it just talked about, how this was famous for, rock and roll. So rock and roll comes to 118. So did you have any decodes for this one?
I just think it's so cool that they were all together. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Anyway. And Johnny Cash is alive.
I have heard that.
Something to talk about. Yeah. And June Carter Cash. So, okay, I did Wurlitzer.
Okay.
And that's 152. Original Soul is 152. I love that one. Original Soul. Black Swan Event is 152. Now, I've been going back and forth about this, but anyway, Donald Trump DEAD 152. And I've got a feeling it's going to look like he is and he's not.
Okay.
I've been thinking that for a while now because of all the things I keep getting, or else if something does happen to him, he'll be back in like 3.5 days anyway. Really?
Interesting. Yeah.
So
right.
At first I was upset about it, but then I thought, well, if this is what's supposed to happen, we know what happens, and he'll be fine.
Right.
So I don't know.
Crazy times.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm sorry. V for Vendetta is 152. The Earth is Flat is 152. Rigged Elections is 152. And London Has Fallen is 152. And that's the phrase they're going to come out and say when they finally let everybody know the Queen is, the Queen has done that.
Right.
Which probably happened 2 years ago, but.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe they call her London and she's fallen.
Oh, could be a meaning there too.
I don't know.
I'm very morbid, sorry. Out. All right.
I'm all set there.
Next, okay. All right. So there was this wall that had all of, not all of them, it had a lot of his albums and awards. It was like a room that had all kinds of awards and albums and things. So I just decoded some of the stuff that, that I saw on the walls. So gold records comes to 120. Platinum records comes to 188. And then the one poster there said, "The legend lives on." I thought that was really cool. That comes to 176. And then the other one has 50 million single sales. So that came to 272. 100 billion sales comes to 237. And then 120 billion sales came to 344. So there were a whole bunch of other ones I could have done, but I was like, well, I'll just do a few and, pick and choose. So, but anyway, so I didn't know, Kathy, if you had any for this one. If you don't, that's okay. What would you have anything?
I probably have it out of order, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's fine. No,
I don't know where gold 45 records. Probably not there, huh? Or is that it in there with the albums?
I might have another. I think I have another slide that has some gold albums on it or gold records on it. So.
Okay.
Did you have any numbers for this particular slide?
And then I had platinum, but I don't see platinum.
Yeah, platinum's on here. Yeah, it's on the left there.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time saying. Okay, platinum is 106. Prophecy is 106. Inheritance is 106. And Saint Germain is 106. And that's one of the funds that will help everybody once the reset happens. It's massive, massive quadrillion fund.
Wow.
That will help the whole world, not just one country, you know.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Walled garden. And sorry, my nose is itchy. Now, I had some interesting about that. I hope you don't mind a story, but
Go ahead.
one of Saban had said, probably a couple of months ago, he was talking about the real Garden of Eden. And I know that there are different places in the world, they say that they're the location.
Mhm.
You know, there's a few. And one knows where the real Garden of Eden is. And anyway, it's in Tanzania. And immediately after I heard him talk about it, I went to look. I looked at a video about it. And he said it has a big wall around it. There's a wall around the Garden of Eden. And I thought, a wall? Are we talking about the Great Wall of China kind of thing? You know? And he said it like 2 or 3 times. So I figured, well, that's important, right? So I looked at it's like a video that has a bunch of still shots of that location in Tanzania. And it looks like a bowl. Like maybe it was a crater, maybe, I don't know. It was a massive area though. And the whole thing is ringed with massive mountains in like almost a perfect circle. So the mountains are huge. And there's even snow at the top. I mean, it's really something. So when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, that's what President Trump is talking about after he was in office. He says, I built that wall. He's talking about that. He's talking about everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's not, you know, the mountains. That's what he's talking about. So I thought that was awesome.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oops. Oh, I went backwards. Sorry. All right. So next slide then. All right. So this was, oh, I love this. This is really neat. Okay. So he received Elvis received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Trump posthumously, of course. But I thought this was really neat. They had a whole display case with this in it. So I decoded a bunch of things that I saw. So Presidential Medal of Freedom comes to 254. And then President Trump comes to 198. And then he did mention President Truman, I think, was the one that started the Presidential Medal of Freedom, if I read that correctly. But then President Kennedy I don't know if he reinstated it or reestablished it or whatever. So I have President Kennedy comes to 188. It was interesting in the description, the one description there, it talked about that there were 7 recipients, including Elvis Presley. So 7 recipients comes to 183. Cultural achievements comes to 232. Posthumously comes to 204. And then adoring fans comes to 108. Now there were other things that were written in this description here in the one picture that I could have decoded, but I kind of ran out of room. So that's what I have for this one. So I don't know if you had anything, Kathy, for this.
The medal, I decided to do medal just to see what medal came up to be. It's 35 for POTUS 35, JFK. And I like this, Mahdi, it's Mahdi. And in a certain sect of the Muslim religion, they're waiting for the Mahdi, or I'm sure I'm not saying it right, the Mahdi to return. It's a really big deal. It's for them, it's like us waiting for Jesus.
Okay.
And the way I'm looking at what's going on is John comes back and he's also the Mahdi to the Muslims. That's the way I'm looking at it. And then we've got Abram, and God is the God of the Jews too. So we've got Mahdi and Abram. And then we have Gaza for the Gaza Strip that everybody fights over. So it was all in one thing. And I was listening to Negative 48. I think he was on the Sacred Blue Tent. And he was talking about that the Palestinians are the ones that are right the rightful landowners in the area. And I was really surprised because I was still brainwashed and I hadn't heard the truth. And he said that the Jews they call themselves Jews, but they're really not. The ones that got Israel, what year was it? 47. Was it
Okay.
1947? They got it under false pretenses. They called themselves Jews, but they're really Ashkenazis. They have nothing to do with the Jewish religion or the 12 tribes. And he actually mentioned that the highest rate of skin cancer is in Israel because all those people naturally don't belong there and they don't have the darker skin. And he
Wow.
said the second highest rate of skin cancer is Australia because all the English went down there. And he said, and they don't belong there.
Wow,
Isn't
we
that
have so
weird?
much to learn.
Yeah, I know. And then the last one I have is QR, just the initials. And Negative has brought that up before. And he says, R always follows Q. And he said, so when you find out, because a lot of people have been saying for a long time that JFK Jr. is Q, but he's not. And I've got a whole proof about that, how he's not. And the Negative told us, who was Junior. I mean, anyway, so R always follows Q. Q is the top guy. And there's only one Q. I don't know if you knew that. They say, so many civilians, so many, I can't remember. All that.
Yeah,
But okay, so you add them up and it sounds like there would be 7 in the military and 3 civilians. But then Q says less than 10. And mathematically, that doesn't work because you've got 10 and you can't have less than 10. So
right.
it's just like, it's a thing to throw people off because there's one Q.
Right, because was it like 70% military?
Yeah, 70% military, 30%
30%
civilian,
minus
and then
10%.
less than 10.
Yeah.
And everybody was going, well, there's less than 10. And I was one of them too, until he went like, people, if you just knew math. And I never thought about it,
Right. Yeah. It
So
gets
there's only
confusing
one.
sometimes.
Yeah, so it's one and it's JFK and that's it. I mean, I know everybody else knows just about everything anyway, but he's the one that is running the numbers mostly.
Oh.
It sounds like he's gambling.
I found the numbers.
The numbers. We've got some books on him. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. And then this was just a little bit more that I had about the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So some of the description that was actually in there, and I don't know if it's like the citation from President Trump or what you would call that, but the award or whatever. So I have American Culture comes to 164. The King of Rock and Roll comes to 218, and we've seen 218 multiple times, multiple ones. American Icon comes to 105. American Legend comes to 111. And then Billion Records comes to 155. And then I think you said you had done Medal, which is 35. And then Medal of Freedom comes to 122. So did you have any for this one or? Okay, all right, we can move on to the next one then. All right, so these are other awards of Elvis's that were in the same room with that wall of albums and records and stuff. So a lot of them are Hall of Fame type of awards. So I have Hall of Fame comes to 79, and then awards comes to 66. And then I just listed some of the ones he received. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame comes to 202. Grammy's Lifetime Achievement comes to 280. Gospel Music Hall of Fame comes to 218. There's another 218. Keep seeing that one. Then we have the GMA Gospel Music Hall of Fame comes to 272. And then we have the RIAA Diamond Award comes to 136. And then the Country Music Hall of Fame comes to 260. So did you have any?
Yeah, I have Hall of Fame 79. Prepare 79. Marines 79, and fear not is 79.
Good one.
I think it goes together. I think that's a good way to do this stuff. Negatives mentioned that to try to kind of have it make sense together. Like if you're doing just one thing on its own, if you're doing like, I don't know, like we're trying to figure out a date this morning on the channel. And Shelley, one of the admins there said, well, let's do November 5th and do it out every which way you can think of to say or write November 5th.
Oh,
You know, like 11/5, 5th of November, that kind of stuff, and see what you get that seems to be a theme between them,
okay.
you know, and maybe we'll figure out if that date's important. So anyway, but that's kind of what I do off and on. Just,
Great.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll move on to the next one. All right. So we're back to the Tiffany blue again. So Tiffany blue comes to 121. And then he had a Tiffany blue Cadillac comes to 166. And then there's a Tiffany jumpsuit came to 210. And this Tiffany jumpsuit that he wore was actually for, I think, an album called Moody Blue. And that comes to 112. So did you have anything you want to say on this one?
Moody blue. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I did Hall of Fame. Tiffany blue jumpsuit, 250. Rising up from the ashes is 250. Isn't that cool?
That is very cool.
I am president and prophet, 250. You rise from the grave is 250. We're ready.
Wow. Oh my.
That's
Okay.
it.
Good. All right. All right. So there were a ton of Elvis's cars. We took a ton of pictures, but I thought, well, I'll just do a few. I don't want to, bore anybody. But he had a lot of vehicles. So here we have a pink Cadillac that comes to 95. And then a purple Cadillac comes to 133.
That's funny. You've got the 55 for like clear comms, 5x5 behind the pink Cadillac.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh my, there's so much to see. So anyway, do you have anything for this one or should I move on?
Yeah, let's see. Where'd the pink one go? I have the pink one. Sorry.
That's okay. I know you have lots of paper and lots of notebooks.
Yeah, maybe I didn't do pink. I don't know.
That's okay.
Oh, I have purple Cadillac.
Okay.
I guess we'll just have to make do with purple.
That works.
It's 133. Yeah, good. I'm glad it matched. I get second thoughts like, am I going to mess up?
Oh, it's okay. No worries.
Okay, I love this. Welcome Mary is 133. We're going to see her too, somehow.
Wow.
Holy Goddess is 133. God's Son, David, 133. Live Free or Die is 133. And that's the motto on our license plates. It says live free or die. So I thought that was really cool.
Is that for New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also pertains to what's going on, live free or die. And then Sean Connery is 133, and he plays one of the Bidens. Negative said when he's sitting, because Sean Connery is much bigger. So when he's sitting down, you're going to see Sean Connery with like a big rubber latex thing on. And he had brown eyes. They're using contact lenses too to change eye color, but you probably already knew that.
Okay. No, actually, I don't think I did. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is quite a movie.
Yeah. Okay, and you don't have you don't have red yet. Okay.
I think that might be the next slide, actually. All right, so you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yes, here we go, red.
Here we are.
All right, so these are some of Elvis's really fun vehicles. There were, like I said, there were other ones, but I didn't want to do too many pictures. So anyway, the top left there is called a red Centaur trike, and that comes to 172. That looks like a fun vehicle to ride in. And then the lower one there, the red one, but I'm not sure exactly what that was. I thought it was a Rolls Royce, but I wasn't totally sure, so I didn't put that on there. And then over there to the right is a 1960 red MG. And that red MG actually comes to 47. I didn't do the 1960 part. And I think that was a car he drove or used in the movie Blue Hawaii. So Blue Hawaii comes to 91. And then I did red, which is 27. So my husband really likes this picture because we have an MG also. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, so do you have anything for this one?
Yeah, I just popped it up. Red MG is 47, and 47 is John.
Right.
Let's see, Isaiah. What else is Legend, which he is.
Yes.
In many ways, in many ways. Sorry, one more second.
No, you're fine.
Well, Ivana, not Ivanka, but Ivana, the mother. Yeah, that's good enough for the red. And red is always 27 JFK.
Right. And they talk negative 48 talks about the red tie and all that.
Red tie and grace and
right.
And
okay.
Did I have? I thought there was something else. Oh, I had red Rolls Royce, but you're not doing that. So
yeah, because I'm not sure if that's what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lead anybody astray there. So yeah, I'd probably have to ask my husband what it is.
Yeah.
So,
oh, right. I have news. Can I just throw it in here?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, it doesn't. Okay, because otherwise, I just won't. I wrote it in here. Okay. Then it'll disappear. I don't know why. Yeah, it came up. You know why? I know we're not using the red Rolls Royce, but I had it in among those notes. But anyway, because it was all about the divine children. So red Rolls Royce comes up with the divine children.
Oh,
is 169. So I was writing down the kids' names that, and the older ones that most people don't know about are Josh Kennedy, and he's an Australian rules football player in Australia, like the big time. Mm-hmm. And he's Whiplash 347, in case somebody watching doesn't know that, on Telegram. So he's important to watch. Let's see, Ezra Cohen Watnick, who's like second in command of, I would say the whole military, but now I can't remember the title. But he's really is a Kennedy grandkid, but he's a child of John and Carolyn. Mm-hmm. And Kaylee McEnany, who was and I'm sure still is the White House spokesperson, not the Jen Psaki.
Right.
Kaylee McEnany is John and Carolyn's child.
Right.
And all three of those guys were born. Arabella, who supposedly died. It's a soap opera. Arabella was one of the kids that JFK and Jackie had that supposedly died, and Arabella never died. Oh. And they were protecting the bloodline, hiding people. Mm-hmm. And Arabella was the surrogate mother for Kaylee, Josh, and Ezra. Isn't that interesting?
That's amazing.
And then I found out just this morning on Negative's channel that Chanel Rion, that's always being stuck in the back of the, I don't know, when the regular people used to be there when the White House press secretary would get up there and they'd give her grief, and right. the press corps didn't want her to be in among them, so they made her stand in a doorway. Mm-hmm. In the back. She's young and beautiful and all that. And anyway, Chanel Rion is John and Carolyn's daughter.
Wow.
Another one. So they're everywhere.
Amazing. It's
And
incredible.
you know what else I found out? At one point, what's his name that looks just like John? Jesse Waters. I'm thinking he's a son too. You know, Jesse Waters on Fox, he looks
Oh,
just like John F. Kennedy Jr.
I heard that was John F. Kennedy Jr. playing him, but
He did, well, I
at
don't know
one
about
time.
all the time. I know Negative said that he was dropping bombs. You know how he always says that? So I
Hmm.
didn't know if he meant all the time. He sure looked like him, but
Right.
he did say he played him. So Jesse Waters, I guess, is him.
Wow. It's so hard to
Doesn't
keep
it make
track
you
of everything.
doesn't it make you wonder when you're talking to somebody now from now on, am I really talking to that person? Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm sorry, but I
That's
just
okay.
thought that was exciting.
No, that is. There's so much information to come out that we need to learn. It's
Yeah.
incredible. All right, so I'll move on to the next one. All right, so then Elvis joined the army. I think, was it for 2 years he joined? Or maybe it was, I can't remember. But anyway, so army fatigues comes to 145, and then that's like an overcoat there on the picture. I'm assuming that's an overcoat. So overcoat comes to 99. And then over on the right, the picture on the right, the official army fatigues comes to 206.
Yeah, I have something on that one. I did Elvis joins the army, 200,
Oh, there you go.
224. Let's see. Everything has meaning, 224. And that's so true, even down to what somebody's wearing.
Yes.
Um, the two witnesses, so two again.
Hmm.
And that's just like I was just going through Revelation 11, and I asked Negative about that. Oh my goodness, we'll have to talk.
Yeah.
It was really intense, you know. I
Oh,
don't know if you
yeah.
remember what I'm talking about, but
Uh-huh.
I hadn't forgotten this part anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, and then the return of the king, 224.
Okay.
And that's the name of, did you ever read J.R.R. Tolkien books?
My daughter's read those. I have not, but
Yeah,
my daughter's read them all. She likes them.
yeah, when I was young, that was the thing to read.
Mm-hmm.
There were no movies or anything out about it, but I read that till it was dog-eared. And
Oh,
yeah, it was my favorite books.
oh,
And
good.
that's what, and it was, he was a Christian man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what those books were about. It's the battle of good versus evil.
Right.
And then of course good wins. And Smog, do you remember in the first book, Smog was the name of the dragon, who's like a dragon is just a serpent with that they put wings on. That's the way the bad guys look at a dragon.
Oh,
And yeah, and and that's why he was sitting on all the gold.
okay.
You know, he had all the gold. He was the evil guy, but it got taken away. So
Wow. So much
yeah,
meaning and so many things. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And then I think I didn't get to put the picture on here, but I think Elvis was like September 11th. I don't remember the year, but he actually went to Germany while he was in the army. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I know September 11th has come up for lots of different things, of course. So
You know, there's stuff about President Trump, and I've seen his name spelled like almost like German, and that he's some kind of German count.
huh.
And I keep seeing that so many times, and I read little blips about it. And this white hat account that I would follow, that we used to talk a lot when I used to be on Twitter, and he always alluded to that.
Hmm.
I wonder if we're going to find out even more, like something about Germany with him.
That could be. You
And I
never
wonder if
know.
that's why Elvis went there. And
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
anyway, I don't
Hard to
know.
know. All right. All right. Next one. All right. So then this, of course, there's so much to see there, but I just had the one wall there where they had his some of his records. So gold records comes to 120, and then there are 24 of them actually there on the wall. So 24 comes to 167. And then the picture on the right was from the movie Jailhouse Rock. which of course there's also a song, but so Jailhouse Rock comes to 147. And then up at the top of that photo, there's the shirt that he wore. So I have Jailhouse Rock shirt comes to 221. And then Jailhouse Rock script. So the script is that white booklet down there near the lower left. And that comes to 232. So I don't know if you had anything for this one.
You're probably gonna regret asking me, but yeah.
No, you're allowed
Okay.
to share.
Well, okay, Jailhouse Rock, the movie, that's 147, and it equals 888, which is like infinity. Eights are infinity. The Sons of God, plural, 147. Let's see. Yeah, I think that was it on that part, but it equals John Titor, right? I am the Phoenix. Yeah, it equals I am the Phoenix. And where's John? Oh, I forgot records. I have to go back to records was on there and it's 82. God is a man, 82. Volcano is 82. Subaru is 82. And even this morning, Negative was talking about a Subaru. So he's driving a Subaru, which I totally doubt, but anyway. Let's see. So Titor, Titor, is a big deal. And that's 82. And he was a time traveling guy. I found out about him way back. And in 1998, he did the first fax. So the first fax was sent to somebody. Nobody had ever done a fax. And somehow this guy put a fax through. And it's on record and it's by this guy named John Titor, who I'm sure is our John. I'm sure, you know.
Right.
So that happened in 1998. And he said he was from the year 2036. And then as he was passing through again, he communicated with different people. And in 2001, he passed on through again. And guess what he was after? He was after a really old IBM computer, an IBM 5100 from 1975. And he needed it for the future to stop a nuclear war. I mean, it's reading about anybody who's interested in this time stuff should read about John Titor, Titor, or Titter. I don't know which way you say it. And the other thing I wanted to say was with Jailhouse Rock, when I've been finding out stuff about these good guys and movies and songs, the titles, the lyrics, the movie plots, the movie titles are all super important. And so Jailhouse Rock, I'm beginning to wonder if Elvis could have been Apostle Paul because of the rock, and the earthquake.
Right.
In Acts 16:26, and suddenly a great earthquake and the foundation of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, their chains released. And Jailhouse Rock, I mean, to me that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have been Apostle Paul.
Right.
So I know that's far out, but everything is.
Yeah. Right. All right, so let's see here. Let me pause a second. Wait a minute. Now, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. I had some issues with my screen share. Thank you for being patient with me. And let me get back to where it was. There we go. Okay. Thank you for sharing all that, Kathy. It gave me a chance to fix myself here.
Anytime, I can always talk.
Oh, goodness. All right, so then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, here we go. All right. So I love books. My daughter loves books too. So I always was looking at where there were books that Elvis read. So I found some good ones here. So the picture on the left, the different titles of the books, and then the Gematria related. So we have the Jewel in the Lotus comes to 231. New Age Bible Interpretation comes to 269. The Looking Glass God comes to 200. And then the Prophet comes to 131. And then Holy Bible, there the picture on the right, comes to 90. White comes to 65, and gold comes to 38. So I don't know if you have anything on this one.
Yeah, I have one. The looking glass God. It's perfect for this. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I wonder, we should find out what it was talking about, you know?
What the book was talking
Yeah,
about?
I wonder, well, if it's still sold. Anyway, it's 200
Mhm.
and it matches Lord Jesus Christ is 200. Why am I not surprised?
Right.
Lord God's prophecy, 200. I mean, looking glass means you can, God is out of time, right? And God can see frontwards and backwards and inside and out and everything. And that's just what they're talking about, like Project Looking Glass.
Right.
So yeah, Lord God's prophecy 200, and then Mount Rushmore is 200. And I keep thinking we're going to see President Trump and JFK and all those other guys up on there
Wow.
at some point,
Right. All right. Next. All right. Some other books that Elvis read. They had them positioned a certain way in this one glass case. So I'll read the names of the books and then the numbers, the gematria that goes with them. So Siddhartha, I think I'm saying that right, comes to 92. The Omen comes to 80. And then the one book actually looked like it had two titles to it. So the whole entire title has the Paraphrase Psalms and Proverbs with the major prophets, and then Living Psalms and Proverbs. So I thought this was really interesting. So the Paraphrase Psalms and Proverbs with the major prophets comes to 621, but then the other half of the title is Living Psalms and Proverbs, and that comes to 126, which is kind of it's the mirror of 621. So I thought that was really, really neat to see and to find. The discovery process is fun. And then Daniel and the Revelation comes to 218. So here again, there's more 218. And then we have the Human Aura, which is 131. And then Color Psychology and Color Therapy comes to 383. So did you have any comments or numbers for this one?
Yeah, I have the Human Aura. It's 131, and that's John F. Kennedy. Let's see. It is Finished is 131. Make America Great is 131. And let's see. Won't do that one. Oh, and Crucifixion is 131.
Mhm.
That's it for that one.
Okay, great. All right. All right, so then more books again here. Like I said, I really enjoy the books. Okay. All right. So Holy Bible, there were a lot of Bibles that I saw. Of course, comes to 90. And then the book there on the right, the blue book, that's the Complete Illustrated Book of Yoga, comes to 375. And then I noticed the bookends there, Two Horses comes to 142. And then over there on the right, it's the same picture, but it's closer. I had a closer up version. And there were a few of the books I wasn't able to find the titles for. I couldn't see them on there. So, but I just have a few of them. So we have The Liveliest Art comes to 185. Gone with the Wind comes to 184. And I know Negative 48 and some other people have talked about the Gone with the Wind program. So I thought that was interesting. Holy Bible Dictionary comes to 238. Holy Bible Red Letter Edition comes to 273. Excuse me. And then the other book, Clinics in Endocrinology and Metabolism, comes to 376. So do you have any numbers or comments for this one?
Yeah. Jesus the Christ is 184, and that's Gone with the Wind. Sorry. Yep, Gone with the Wind.
Mhm.
General Michael Flynn, and cosmic twin flames. I'm telling you, it's always there
Right.
in one way or another, you know. And just stay alive. I mean, especially for a Gone with the Wind program, and just stay alive makes sense.
Right.
You know, going into hiding. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, great. All right. So then this slide talks about Elvis meeting with President Nixon. I remember watching on one of your YouTube channels, you talking about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know something about that. So anyway, so this is, I just kind of took parts from it, from what I saw, and then of course the pictures. So Elvis met Nixon comes to 181. Dear Mr. President, that was, you know, the beginning of his letter. 169. His influence comes to 125. And that was part of the description there from the picture on the right. There's like a little plaque there that describes it. So yeah, so his influence is 125. This badge comes to 75. And then he talked about making a difference. So make a difference comes to 106. And then that's the outfit that Elvis wore, was a black outfit that he wore to meet the president. And then I took a picture of the actual badge. So it says Bureau of Narcotics, Dangerous Drugs, 364. And then Federal Narcotics Badge, which was part of the description there on that plaque there, that comes to 172. So did you have anything you want to add to this one?
Well, I thought it'd be fun to do sideburns.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're so prominent.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I don't know. You can decode anything.
Oh, I know.
Let's see. A president. So that does fit in with this. You know, President Nixon, a president. Ancient gods. Yeah, I'm really sure that all those Greek myths and all that stuff are not myths. I think that's kind of real.
Interesting.
Yeah. Original God is, let's see, sorry, didn't get the right one here. Heaven and hell, this is all 111. Lord God here, and Nikola Tesla is 111, and New York is 111.
Oh.
So that's it.
All right, good. All right, so then I had a little fun with this one picture. I'll tell you here in a minute. Okay, so taking care of business. I saw this lightning bolt and the TCB a lot of places there at Graceland, which really intrigued me. So TCB comes to 25. And then I think we talked about this before, but taking care of business comes to 218. And then the picture on the right had my kids in it. So what I did is I just kind of whited them out so it kind of looks like snow. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of a funny, we had a laugh about that the other day, didn't we, Kathy?
Yes.
So I have lightning bolt comes to 154, and gold, it looked like it was, you know, in gold color, comes to 38. So I don't know if you have any comments or anything you want to say here.
Well, I feel bad for the kids, but
I didn't figure they wanted to be in the picture.
Right.
You know, everybody to see. So
yeah. Mom got rid of us, and then Mom got famous, and then I wasn't famous.
They might not want to be famous. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I did federal, just because federal seems to be a theme here. That's our Michael, 51. Great, Jacera with the G. A lot is 51. Batman, Elite. I mean, so many. Hawaii, where, you know, he had a huge concert, right? In Hawaii. What else? See, Ruach. How do you say that? The wind, God, the wind from God, Ruach.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I've only read it, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. Yep.
All right, next. All right, so there was a lot of golden things there. So golden comes to 57. And then the picture there on the left, that was a 1956 Gibson guitar. So Gibson guitar, I think is the one that I did the gematria for. So it's 142. And then the suit that he wore was called a golden lame. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, that's right.
Really messing that up. Suit comes to 138. And then on the right is one of his many singles. Don't Be Cruel comes to 119. And then it's a golden record. So I have 120. Did you?
Yeah, I have Don't Be Cruel. And, you know, I was thinking about Jailhouse Rock, you know, and how it just makes sense for what we were talking about. And Don't Be Cruel makes sense for what we're talking about.
Mhm.
You know, how cruel these people were to the children and all these other people and us,
Right.
you know? So, yeah, I don't think, I had it in one of my earlier ones. It's like nothing is a coincidence, and it's not.
Right.
Let's see. So Don't Be Cruel is 119. And Electric Brain is 119. And I was thinking that that's appropriate because -48 said that when two people gather together, just like biblical, right? When two or more are gathered in my name, there I am.
Ah.
And he didn't say that part when he was explaining. The part he was explaining was when two people are together within 2 feet of each other, they make a Tesla coil. So your body makes a Tesla coil when you're together. And I've also seen where I can't find the video anymore, but the old way for writing alpha, you know, the aleph.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Hebrew, and I'm talking about like the ancient Hebrew.
Okay.
If you see it 3D, it's twisted like this, and you can see through it. If you can turn the letter, you know what I mean? And that is a Tesla coil.
Okay. And
another thing that I'm getting all this electric stuff, and it's all kind of coming together. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And this sounds weird to bring up, but there's a cryptocurrency, and it's called Doge, D-O-G-E.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of that. I think you might say Doge, but
yeah,
maybe
might
you don't. But what I found out it really is, because it came up in Gematria, it said Doge, it literally said it in the answer. Doge reversed is E-God, electric God. That's what that meant.
Oh my goodness.
And that's why Doge is out there.
Okay.
Because it's like a play on the word electric God, E-God.
Okay.
And so God is electric. And I've seen a picture that was a real picture that Tom Numbers sent me on right after a rally. And somebody got a screenshot of this flash. And when they got it, it was looks like a lightning bolt coming from President Trump's head.
Oh my God.
So it all this fits together.
Amazing.
And I think that we're all like that. I really do. And we don't even know it.
Yes, lots that we do not know for sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to piece it together, you know.
Right. Yep, like a puzzle.
Yeah. And also Don't Be Cruel is Nikola Tesla.
Right.
Well, probably spelled a little differently, but you know, a lot of people searched for it, so you know it came up. And gold standard.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Good. All right, great. All right. All right, so some of Elvis had a ton of Elvis's outfits. Oh my goodness. There were so many. I could have taken a zillion pictures, but anyways, I just picked a couple to share. So the American Eagle jumpsuit is there on the left, and it comes to 223. American Eagle cape, so there was a cape that he wore with it, and that's kind of on the left of that picture, comes to 119, which we just talked about 119. And then he had two versions of this outfit created, because I don't know, that something about the dry cleaning or something. I've read that somewhere. I'd have to look at it again, but two version comes to 179. And then they had this board there that you could actually touch the eagle. So that's what's on the right there. The American Eagle is 94, but that was kind of like what one of his outfits had on it, I guess. And this was one that people could actually touch and feel it. I actually did, and I just took a picture of it. So, but anyway, I don't know if you had anything for any of those, Kathy.
American Eagle is 94.
Mhm.
November is 94. God's Alive. And John.
Ah, very cool.
John.
Yay. All right, good. All right. Next one. All right, some more outfits. All right, so the left picture there, we have the Aztec sundial jumpsuit, comes to $264. And this was an outfit he wore for his last concert. So last concert comes to $130. And his last concert was at Market Square Arena, comes to $188. And then Indianapolis, Indiana comes to $175. Last live performance comes to $214, and it was his favorite jumpsuit. So that comes to $225. And then the picture on the right is actually called the Memphis suit, and that comes to $185. He wore it during a live recording, comes to $141. And it was the song that he sang was How Great Thou Art, comes to $200. And he received his last Grammy for this concert and the suit and everything. So last Grammy comes to $129. Did you have anything for this one?
What did I do? I can't even remember now. I get myself confused.
That's okay.
Aztec sundial is 135.
Mhm.
And excuse me, God's human name. I thought that was really good. I wonder if it's what we think it is, you know?
Right.
Accessing heaven, the laws of God, and miracle gematria. That's good. That's
Okay.
it.
Good. All right. Next one. All right. So this one, these were just two plaques that described, this was a section on like gospel music and stuff. So one of his songs was Where No One Stands Alone. So both of these plaques, I picked out words and phrases from each one that I thought were really, kind of stuck out to me and are important. So we'll look at the one there on the left. So spiritual guidance comes to 189. The church comes to 94. And then I talked about the church where Elvis went as a kid, and there were like 25 people in this church, and most of them were Elvis's relatives. So I have Elvis's relatives comes to 178. Church experience comes to 165. Black and white gospel music comes to 252. So the plaque described that. His musical identity comes to 220. Monthly gospel sings comes to 249. The backstage door comes to 154. And then I thought this was really neat. At the last sentence on this plaque said, enjoy the show. Comes to 167.
Oh, that's perfect.
Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. I just was so excited when I found that. But anyway, and then the plaque there on the right, the picture, gospel music comes to 139. And then this plaque talked about the Blackwood Brothers that Elvis would listen to. And then I think they came and played I think it was at his mother's funeral, I believe. I remember reading that. So Blackwood Brothers comes to 191. Sound of Gospel Music comes to 233. And they talked about gospel music and how important it was. And then it brought peace to his life. So Peace to His Life comes to 133. And His Mind at Ease comes to 127. So it talked about how gospel music put his mind at ease. And then mainstream music conversation comes to 333, and that's where he was wanting to make gospel music part of that. And then his song Where No One Stands Alone comes to 246. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add there. I know I have a ton of things listed, but
let's see. Where No One Stands Alone. This is interesting because this guy's name comes up a lot. Now, Negative has said the name is it's for sorry, I didn't tell you what I'm doing. Where No One Stands Alone. The name of the song is, like you said, 246.
Mhm.
Now, this guy's name is Joseph Gregory Hallett, And he's well known, at least over in Europe and the UK, because he said he was the second Jesus. He's done videos and books all over the place and all that, saying that this has been going on for years. And so a lot of people think that, but Negative said, oh no, and he was really upset about it. But boy, his name pops up a lot.
Okay.
Like in one form or another. It's like you can't get away from his name. And so I'm thinking Joseph Gregory Hallett is the false prophet. I mean, he could be,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
never know.
So anyway, that came up for where no one, and it's funny, where no one stands alone, you know, it's just funny. Talking about two. So I wonder if like Hallett didn't even know that was his job in life, that God put the idea in his head to go, because you know, you're going to fulfill prophecy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this is what we're going to do here, people.
Yeah.
Let's see. An inconvenient truth. There's a lot of them. In the twinkling of an eye. And Jesus is within you.
And these are all 246, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
All
right. So then they have this display there, and it was about, his gospel music. So gospel music comes to 139. So then I just kind of took some of the descriptions. So How Great Thou Art comes to 200. And then they had displayed the concert arrangements. So that comes to 213. Original acetate comes to 140. Original album acetate comes to 189. Gospel album comes to 123. And gospel song comes to 129. So did you have anything for this one?
Yeah, I have How Great Thou Art, 200. And Lord God's Prophecy is 200. Lord Jesus Christ is 200. And Clear December Prophecy is 200. So I like that because we have December 7th as President Trump's birthday. And we got Mount Rushmore in here again. Did it spell differently? I don't know. But it's there.
Okay.
It's there. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, and then we've got the next one I see says, you better be right. I just had a question, right? And then I'm like, you better be right. And I'm sorry. Also, Martin Luther King. That's 200.
Very
Not
cool.
Junior, but just Martin Luther King.
Right. Okay, good. All right. Next. All right, so this is my surprise for you. Remember I was saying I had a surprise?
You're gonna blow me away.
This is so cool. I just love this. So these were some amazing finds that I found there at the museum. And the one on the left, of course, is important, but just the other couple slides. So this is kind of fun. So anyway, so there was a Jesus statue, and it came to 160. And then there's a little tiny, I'm sorry, it's not closer, but there's a little tiny like silver piece. And that was actually supposed to be the Last Supper. So they found that in his bedroom. So the Last Supper comes to 180. But the most exciting part was this Bible that I found that was open. Okay. And it was, I'll explain, it was actually a Bible that was given to him by some members of his inner circle on Christmas of 1964. So let me just read the Gematria and then we'll go to the next slide. So Holy Bible comes to 90, and then members of his inner circle comes to 242. Christmas comes to 110. Christmas of 1964 comes to 374. And then he wrote some personal notations in this Bible, which is just really, really cool. So notations comes to 127. So anyway.
Can you see it, the notation?
I tried to make it closer, but I did try to write it down on the slide so you can see. And I'll try to explain it. I wish I could have had it closer, but it was in a glass case. So you couldn't get like really, really close to it. So I'll do my best to describe it so you guys have an idea, but it's so cool. I was so excited when I found this.
That makes me want to cry.
I know. So the Bible is open and it had Revelation 10 and 11 on the left-hand side of the page, and then 12 and 13 on the right-hand side. So
Wow.
Revelation comes to 121, and then he had written America in this Bible twice, and America comes to 50. Okay, so I tried to get as many angles as I could of this Bible.
Yeah.
So let me go to the next page. All right, so these are the descriptions that were on some of them. He had stuff underlined. So in chapter 10, verse 11, so this was on the left-hand side of the open Bible, he had stuff underlined. So he had in chapter 10, verse 3, he had a lion underlined. So a lion comes to 51. And then he had written on the side Elohim,
Yeah.
which is 62, which I looked up what that means. And it means divine, which is 63, or creator comes to 80. So it's the word for one of God's names.
Yeah.
So that was on the left-hand side. There were other stuff written there, but I couldn't remember what it was and I couldn't get close enough. So then on the right-hand side, Revelation chapter 12, it had written the great red dragon. So that was actually already in the Bible. He didn't write that in there, but he had the great red dragon, and it came to 170. And he had handwritten Mason 62, and China was written on there 35. So we know, some information. That's a rabbit hole people could go down about the Freemasons. But so I thought that was really interesting. And then to have China written on there as well, for underneath, or it was close to the great red dragon. So I was like, oh my heavens.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to make any
Mason,
comments on this one? Or?
yeah, I'm sorry. Mason is, like you said, 62. And remember that word he's misspelled on purpose? You know how he does that? We call that Trumpology.
Uh-huh.
When he does stuff wrong and it's not really wrong. You can say it or write it.
Mm-hmm.
And Covfefe, Covfefe. And I think it's something that Joshua said when he came back or something like that. Like something about we can take the land, but Covfefe came in there somewhere.
Huh.
In that little slot of time.
Okay.
And like it's not a big deal or something. Let's see what else is. Madonna is what am I doing? 62. And dollar, which is interesting because China's in there.
Yeah.
And that's how we're getting our reset, well, at least part of the reset for the world done is through the Chinese dragon families, and you had dragon, the great red dragon. Yeah, there's the Chinese dragon families, like the family of Li, and they never got involved with the communists. They stayed separate. So there's several families.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that was part of it. So I have a little bit more.
Interesting. That's really
Stick with
cool.
me here. All right. So then on the right-hand side of this open Bible, okay, Revelation chapter 12, verse 5, he had a bunch of stuff underlined. I'll read it and I'll tell you what he had written. So verse 5 says, and she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up onto God and to his throne. So he had his throne underlined, which comes to 116. And right beside it, he had written America, which is 50. So I was like, he's trying to tell us something here.
He's saying the child is going to be in America.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to try to understand it. But yeah, it was just like, wow. So then chapter 13, he had the description for chapter 13, Revelation. The beast with 7 heads comes to 242. So that was kind of like the subheading. And then beside that, he had written America G7. And that comes to 122. So I'm not sure what the G meant. I mean, 7 I know is an important number.
G7 could be the G7 countries that are now defunct. Nobody knows it, but the G7 is like kaput,
Oh, okay.
He dismantled it. They were the top, I don't know, what do you call it? Global, I can't think of what for the economies, the top 7 economies.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's what they call the G7.
Okay. But I just
And
thought that
then,
was all written together like in one sentence.
right,
America
but
G7.
America is probably greater than the G7, maybe.
Right.
And then the beast, yeah, what I think the beast with 7 heads is probably the 7 churches. I mean, I know you can look at it many different ways, but just at this moment,
Yeah.
because the churches are corrupt when you think about it,
Right.
right? The head, not the regular people, like I said before.
Right. So then he also had written the number 9 and he wrote man next to it. So I did the gematria for that and I just 70. So I don't know, but it was amazing to see all the stuff. I mean, he had underlined a bunch of other stuff too. It would take me forever to, but I just tried to, pick out the ones that he underlined and he wrote something next to. So I don't know. This thrilled me. I was just so excited to see this. It was
awesome.
Amazing to see. So, but
have we done Bob Joyce yet?
What's that?
Did we do Bob Joyce yet in the beginning? I don't remember.
I think we mentioned him a little bit briefly, but not. Not.
Mind if I look at that one?
No, I don't mind. Go ahead. Yeah, I think I was actually done with the main slides. I just had like a few other.
Oh, go ahead. I'll wait till the end if you want. Yeah.
Okay, well that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think the next slide. I think I was done with the Bible part. Okay, let me just run through these and then you can go into the Bob Joyce part. So these 2 guys are amazing for gematria. Oh my heavens, they're just doing amazing things with it. So we have Tom Sidney Bushnell, or we call him Tom Numbers, and he's on YouTube and his is called Psych Club. And then Michael Brian Protzman, his Telegram channel is -48 channel. So definitely go check them out and follow them. They're pretty amazing. There are gurus, right? Gematria gurus. Okay. And then I think I did mention this lady to you, Kathy. She has done a ton of stuff on the Book of Revelation. Oh my heavens, she's incredible. She's such a lovely, lovely person, beautiful person. So her name is Melissa Red Pill the World. And her website is freedomforce.live. It's called Freedom Force Battalion. And her Telegram channel is Freedom Force Battalion. But her YouTube videos, she's on YouTube. Well, she was on YouTube. Wait a minute, maybe I think she might be doing stuff on Rumble too. But her videos, I should say, she has over 500. I think it's like 500 videos. I've not watched. I think I've watched maybe 10 of them, but she has over 500 videos on the Book of Revelation and what's going on in the world right now. Like she is really, really, really good. And she talks about, the stars and how important they are and what we've missed with all that. So she's another really good one to follow. And then I have the next one. I have MrsHandyRU. She's on Telegram. Yay! And her YouTube channel is great too. And then I just have mine. I have Telegram, YouTube, and I'm working on Rumble. I have a few videos on Rumble, but they're not all quite there yet. So there's so many things to be doing. So, but anyway, did you want to go ahead and talk about Bob Joyce? And I'll just.
Well, why don't you? Do you want to say who Bob Joyce is to your audience first, or do you want me to? I don't know.
How do we drop that bombshell?
Are we ready? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, sure, go for it if you'd like to. Go ahead.
Well, -48 did verify that's who it is, so it's not even
not a secret anymore.
No,
right.
No, and I've seen too many things that he has done physically that are Elvis things that are just you can't even deny. Yeah. Anyway, Pastor Bob Joyce, who has a church now, is it in Alabama? Do you remember?
I think I saw it was Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It began with an A though. An A for effort.
Yes.
Not really. Well, yeah. So he's been there. I mean, after he must have been in the FBI for quite a while. Wouldn't you think?
Maybe I haven't researched it much, but
yeah, I saw there was a white hat Elvis. He called himself Elvis, and somewhere I have them. I don't know where, but I know I have them. And they're pictures from all his different ages, all the way through with the FBI.
Okay.
So he's getting older and older and older.
Right.
And then finally you see him, and he's most likely a pastor at this point. And he's always wearing a white hat, which is cool.
Right.
Always wearing a white hat, sometimes a Hawaiian shirt. And he's sitting down in a diner with his buddy. You know, he's always with a buddy, just like normal people, you know. And I love those pictures. So if I can find them, I'll share them with you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob Joyce, Joyce is 77. Of course, this is God's perfect number. And Message from David is 77. Let's see. I want to get a really good one because I didn't write this one down. Sorry, keep talking.
Oh, okay. Oh my, let's see. What can I talk about?
Oh, Christ is 77. I should have known that.
Right.
I don't even have to look that up.
Right.
Christ, yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, there's lots of them.
And DEC for December, DEC 7. President Trump, you know,
right.
Birthday. Fathers, plural. Okay. Notice how this all keeps happening.
Oh, no.
There's more than one. God, Michael. Because he's part of all this. And in case people don't know, -48, when you're talking to him on his channel, we call him Michael. And that's because my opinion, he's Archangel Michael. So, yeah. And I love this. I Am Love is 77. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and Come Home is 77.
Oh, wow.
They're all coming home. I'm waiting to see our relatives too. I don't think it's too far-fetched. I said this on my last video, like I'm expecting them.
Wow, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I'm getting my garden ready. I'm thinking about where I'll put people.
Right.
Literally, you know.
Yeah.
You know when in the Bible it says, "In my Father's house there are many mansions."
Right.
Well, it's not a lie. And after the reset, there's going to be many mansions. Think about that.
That's exciting to think about. Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah. And Negative just this morning on his chat thing that I was listening to with bleary eyes, he said, you know, how did he put it? Oh, I have it written down. Just that he said, heaven is a state of mind. He said, he said heaven and hell are in our minds. I don't think he means that completely, but he said a lot of what we think is just, our minds are just, they're not comprehending what the good is, what the bad is.
Right.
They're kind of just on autopilot. I mean, that's my phrasing, but anyway.
Right. Oh, great.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll say goodbye here. We'll finish after we get off here, but we'll say goodbye and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry about some of the technical difficulties we had. We're all learning here and trying to be gracious with each other. So anyway, so just skip that part if it's bad. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a good afternoon and look forward to seeing you all again and being with Mrs. HandyRU. We'll maybe try to do some other videos together and different things. That'd be fun. So we'll see you guys later. Take good care.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Love you.